Buzztalk, a collaborative effort with FatCherryPie to bring forth content for you guys to get to know, to understand, and to learn more about the creative individuals within the KW area. Episode 1, I sat down with Adam Z at Good Hair Co. and he gave me a proper cut. Stay tuned for that episode and many more. Let's see what kind of magic you got. Right over here. Cozy place, man. Cozy, warm.
Cozy. Got the big fan heater. Have a seat there, brother.
Okay.
Hat off, please. So I got the creative freedom here today.
Yes, confirm. Do what you want. Make me look good. That's the bottom line. Thanks for doing this, boss.
No problem. Good to have you in my chair.
Yes, sir. First time.
All these years.
Long time, eh? St. Dominic's, Resurrection, Laurier, the whole 9 yards, eh? So how long have you been cutting hair for now?
Well, you know, officially, kind of more professionally, a year and a half.
Okay.
Before that, doing some DIY work.
Okay.
You know, in the basement, in the university days, in the high school days.
Awesome.
On friends, family, any willing participants.
Sure. You ready to do it, eh?
Yeah, anyone who is willing to, you know, come out with perhaps an okay haircut.
Right.
Back in the day.
So what really got you into starting this whole thing, this hobby of yours?
Well, it's a bit of a. I mean, like anything, you know, like any kind of career or hobby or anything, it's almost like it's meant to be in a way.
Sure.
Things just fall into place.
Okay. Any inspirations? Family back home?
I remember stories my dad would tell me about him getting haircuts back in Europe.
Sure.
From his grandpa with the hand-powered, you know, all five, 6 boys would sit down, they would just get...
Chop, chop, chop.
Yeah, that's it.
Fantastic.
So I always had that, you know, home haircut, cutting kind of culture, and my mom would always cut our hair. Fantastic. As kids, just a quick buzz. So we always had a pair of clippers laying around.
Gotcha.
Fantastic. That's really how it usually begins for us barbers.
So when you wake up in the morning, what's something that really motivates you to come into the shop, to take the next step in your career? Because I also know that you make leather goods as well. Yeah. So what would be one of those things that really makes you want to get out of bed in the morning to do what you really want to do?
Yeah, now I'm in this position where I have a lot more creative freedom in the shop compared to my last barbering job in Toronto. Okay. So I do feel a lot more of my kind of, you know, name even being on the product and on, you know, on the door of the studio here. Right. Helping a lot with the opening and so it's exciting to go on this journey. With a few other folks that are working here. Fantastic. I mean, I'm sure you know about it. You gotta put in the work.
Yeah, you definitely have to put in the work. I feel like a lot of people kind of expect things just to kind of happen overnight. Over the last couple of years, I've really noticed and recognized that, you know, beyond just being lucky, you do have to have that strong work ethic and just the determination to, you know, block out any negative noises that are around you, You know, instead of going out every Saturday night, you know, how about you stay in every Saturday night and you work on your craft, right?
Or that 50, 60, up to $80 that people can spend out
hell
on
yeah.
Saturday night.
Hell yeah.
You know, you could be putting that towards your funds and advancing your arsenal of goods or materials and tools.
Yeah.
Whether it be, for me it'd be like clippers and things like that, or for you, cameras, mics, you name it.
That's it. So I remember when we sat down at Starbucks a couple weeks ago, you mentioned that you moved to Toronto for about a year.
Yes, sir.
And I remember that you said that, you know, living in a big city like Toronto, it got a little bit just kind of depressing just due to the things that you kind of saw on the streets, the constant sirens that you heard throughout the city. Would you say that there is a particular artist that you could kind of turn on after a day's work that just puts you in a more positive headspace and just, you know, ups your vibe in a positive manner?
In the summertime, Molly BURCH, this lady, I'm not sure where she's from, but she comes to mind as some happy music, pretty light, kind of poppy, airy tunes by her.
Awesome. I'll have to check her out. Sticking to the topic of artists who kind of inspire you and motivate you, is there a specific artist who kind of resembles your craftsmanship as an individual?
An artist that I can always kind of tune into, whether it's a haircut or if I'm doing some stitching work, that puts me into a little bit of a trance.
Yeah.
Is a gentleman named Kevin Morby.
Okay.
Put some real clean lyrics.
Okay.
Into very almost like trance-like beats that just extend and grow throughout the whole song.
Awesome. What's his name again?
Kevin Morby.
Kevin Morby.
How would you describe your kind of transition right now into FatCherryPie and how that happened?
To be honest with you, like obviously I still have a strong passion for music.
For sure.
When it comes to actually being an artist and just, you know, balancing everything that comes with it, marketing yourself, touring, you know, making the actual music, and just everything else in between, I don't necessarily find that I am in tune with everything that kind of encapsulates being an artist. I love making music, even though I haven't made music since I don't know, maybe April. But I thought that, you know, because I still have a strong passion for music, it'd be nice to stick in that realm and just create a platform where, you know, I can get in contact with local artists or showcase the music of smaller artists who don't necessarily have the manpower or the marketing budget to get themselves on blogs just to get the word out. Because for me personally, I had a difficult time getting my music out.
You're in that boat, huh?
Yeah, and you know, sometimes you got to pay money for a blog to post your stuff. Sometimes you're lucky. Sometimes, you know, one way to do it is collaborate with someone who has a larger presence, and then your name gets kind of pushed out there with them. So yeah, I thought it was just kind of both beneficial to me and to the artists that I showcase, just because everybody needs a helping hand, and I know how hard that can be sometimes.
Sure.
I feel like, especially developing a local fan base, I've noticed that so many people are so quick to you know, share a post about something that is so irrelevant, but when it comes to sharing a post of, you know, a friend of yours that you went to high school with, they just open up a business and they need that local vocal.
Yeah, that's it.
No one's really helping them out, and
it's something free. You can do to help.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody,
what does it cost you? It costs you nothing.
Nothing.
You know what I mean? It's just a quick post on your IG story, or a quick post on your Snapchat story, or what have you, whatever social media platform you want to use.
Comment, anything, right?
Yeah, and like I'm not one who only listens to one genre of music, so because of that, I feel like it's easy for me to be able to find and spot out good sounding music, artists who are really putting in the time and effort to try and make a career out of themselves. Like I started FatCherryPie, I want to say in June, and I have found so many great artists who I probably would not have found otherwise. But yeah, FatCherryPie is definitely the place you want to be following if you want to, stay in tune with new music that comes out that doesn't necessarily get released by your typical A-listers like Drake, Kanye, Post Malone, etc., etc.
Top 3, perhaps, artists in the last year, 2019, let's say.
Number 1 is gonna have to be Emotional Oranges.
Yeah.
They're a collective out of LA, R&B. It's a female and a male. R&B kind of soul vibe. They just released an album this past Friday.
Okay.
Fantastic music. I definitely think that they're going to be one of those collectives that really put a stamp into the music industry in the next couple of years. Yep. That's gonna be number 1. Number 2.
Tough questions.
Number 2, I'm gonna go with Maggie Rogers.
Okay, yeah.
You know Maggie Rogers?
I'm familiar with her. What's her one tune called?
She got a whole bunch, buddy.
Yeah.
But Maggie Rogers, definitely number 2. I remember running into her on Facebook when she was at NYU, I want to say, doing university.
Pharrell thing.
With Pharrell, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The breakthrough song.
Oh, I think it's called Alaska.
Yeah.
Something like that. But yeah,
Jitters, man. Shivers.
Crazy, dude.
That video with her in the studio.
Crazy.
Yeah, friends showed me that.
And to see her go from, a classroom in NYU, I'm pretty sure that's the school that she went to where she is now, touring, creating phenomenal music, pushing the envelope, making new sounds, using new sounds. I think it's refreshing, and it's something that the music industry needs a little bit more.
Bit of a fairy tale story.
Oh, 100%.
And truly looks like a
genuine individual for sure, eh?
Artist.
True to herself. Doesn't look like she's putting a mask on. But yeah, that's number 2. Number 3, I probably have to go with. I'm gonna go with Kofi. Kofi is an up-and-coming rapper from Toronto. Okay. And although he doesn't have a lot of material out right now, he actually put out a single called Pronto. I want to say maybe 3 weeks ago. It was one of my slices of the week, and totally unique sound. It doesn't sound like he's from Toronto, which makes it amazing. If Kofi continues to do what he's been doing, I feel like he's going to be a staple in the Toronto music scene. He's got some really special cooking on. So Maggie Rogers, Emotional Oranges, and Kofi to round out my top 3 of the year.
Awesome.
You mentioned Slice of the Week. What is that?
Slice of the Week is just basically a weekly series where I showcase the release of the week. So every Friday we usually have a bunch of music that comes out on streaming platforms, And, you know, I'll dig through some playlists on Friday, Saturday, and then come out with my favorite release, and then just showcase that and provide that artist with the shine and spotlight that I think they deserve. I usually don't tap into artists who, you know, who are already established in the music industry. So who came out this Friday? Let's just say Post Malone's album came out this Friday. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna showcase him. Like even though I may think, you know, that album is good and exceptional and whatever, I just don't think it's beneficial to my audience to kind of get that information. For me personally, the transition, I feel like the largest transition for me with my musical taste is the way that I approached writing music for Kryptonik, for Nicky Columbus. You know, when I first started making music, it was heavily based on just, you know, bars after bars after bars, being metaphorical, coming up with clever lines, and I wasn't necessarily focused on creating catchy music with, you know, a catchy hook, a catchy chorus that other people could kind of, you know, sing along after hearing it a couple of times. So once I kind of dove into making more catchy music, quote unquote,
would you say that happened with Nicky Columbus?
Yeah, that happened with Nicky Columbus for sure. Yeah. I feel like Kryptonik was just like a hip hop persona. Yeah. And once I got out of that phase, that wasn't necessarily who I was as an individual. So I thought that it was necessary just to change the name, and, you know, just kind of maybe rebrand myself in a way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So once I started making, you know, a little bit more catchy music with a stronger emphasis on choruses and hooks, I noticed myself listening to more pop music, more indie music, and less hip hop. And, you know, I appreciate that transition a lot, because I don't think I would be where I am right now if that didn't occur. You know, the other thing that I wanted to mention, you touched on it a little bit, is, you know, sometimes it is, you know, very refreshing to listen to something new, instead of putting on, you know, that one song that you've heard probably over 30 times. Yeah. You know every single word to it. In the morning, as you do at night. The other thing is, music really helps individuals grow as individuals. There's a lot of learning lessons to be had. There's a lot of stories that you can learn from.
Yeah, absolutely.
For Drake, for example, I know, you know, me and him don't live the same kind of lives, but he's one of those artists that's really good at making a regular Joe Blow kind of understand what he's going through. You know what I mean? It's
relatable.
It's very relatable, and that's I feel like that's a main reason for his success and his longevity.
For sure. He's been able to adapt to anyone listening to
old, young, white,
you know,
black, Asian, disabled, abled, like, you name it, bro. Everybody's gonna listen to it.
So Nick, is it going from Kryptonik to Nicky Columbus, your music taste evolved? Would you say going from, you know, Nicky Columbus to FatCherryPie, it evolved even more, you know, opened up? What would you say about that?
I think that's definitely changed as well, just because, you know, when I was really into, you know, making music and trying to make music a career, I feel like I had an ego that really kind of, you know, acted as a barrier in some ways. I wasn't necessarily always willing to listen to someone that I didn't know, because, you know, I was afraid that they'd be making better music than I was, you know? And now that I'm not necessarily focused on making music, I feel a lot more comfortable discovering, engaging with new artists, and just putting myself in an opportunity where, you know, I'm exploring, I'm discovering new music, new artists. Dude, now I know why we didn't go to a spa, bro. Holy. So I know how, one of the main characteristics of FatCherryPie is, just growing a community and shining light on smaller individuals who are still part of our community. And I just wanted to give you the floor on just describing what Good Hair Co. has coming up in the future on November 30th. I know that you guys are hosting a market at this location, 154 Victoria Street, Kitchener. So if you just want to maybe talk about that for a couple seconds.
So again, as we're, a new establishment rather in the community, we're hosting a market and kind of opening party to the public, opening social event, where we'll be having some drinks, some snacks, and a handful of local artists and vendors selling some goods, including myself and my leather goods and products from the shop.
Awesome.
So we're hoping to get a turnout of lots of people and to show the community who we are.
Perfect.
What we're about, and
sounds exciting.
While promoting promoting the community, entrepreneur, artists.
For sure.
Everyone that's putting in work and is a part of this growing downtown and uptown community of talented individuals. Alright, so we finished up the cut here, evened out the top,
looks fucking nice.
Fade.
Look at that. I'm a whole new man, bro. Whole new
man with the head top.
Yeah. Boss.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you again, brother. Thank you again, brother. I'll be back, that's for sure. Thanks for tuning in. End of episode 1 of Buzztalk. I'm here at Fuck!